Hello everyone, it's Miss Jo from the Winfield Public Library, and I am excited to see all of you and welcome you to my story time. I'm excited because I have a special guest that I brought today. Are you ready to meet my friend? Everyone, it's Bob. Meet Bob, my good buddy. Bob is a butternut squash that was grown in my very own garden this fall. Small but mighty. Oh, what was that? Bob wants me to tell you hello, and that he's really excited to be here. And he's really, really excited about the book because he picked the book today. And what was Bob? Bob says, enough of the chit-chat, Joe. It's time to get on with the story. So, without further ado, well, it didn't have to be so. Okay. Bob's very excited because the story is Sophie Squash. And if you'll have a look right there, look! Sophie has a friend that looks just like Bob. It's by Pat Zeitlo Miller and Ann Wilsdorf. And look at the trees. The leaves on the tree look a lot like the leaves on the trees do around here right now. And look, there's Sophie and her buddy. And they're just having a glorious time like Miss Jo and Bob. Frolicking, enjoying the sunshine. There they are hanging out. And, well, this book was also published by Schwartz and Wade Books of New York. And I really want to thank them for the opportunity to share this with my good library people. So here we go. One bright fall day, Sophie chose a squash at the farmer's market. Her parents planned to serve it for supper, but Sophie had other ideas. It was just the right size to hold in her arms. Just the right size to bounce on her knee. Just the right size to love. I'm glad we met, Sophie whispered. Good friends are hard to find. Let me read it. At home, Sophie used markers to give her squash a face, then wrapped it in a blanket and rocked it to sleep. When it was time to make supper, Sophie's mother looked at the squash. She looked at Sophie. I call her Bernice, Sophie said. I'll call for pizza, said her mother. After that, Bernice went everywhere with Sophie. To story time at the library, to visit other squash at the farmer's market, to practice somersaults by the garden. Bernice looks like she's having so much fun. Every night, Sophie gave Bernice a bottle, a hug, and a kiss. Well, we did hope she'd love vegetables, Sophie's mother told her father. Shh, Sophie said. Bernice is sleepy. And if you look up close to the drawings, look at the pictures of Bernice on the wall. Cute room. Sweet pea, Sophie's mother said one morning as they made blueberry waffles. Bernice is a squash, not a friend. If we don't eat her soon, she'll get mushy and gross. Let's bake her with marshmallows. Won't that taste yummy? Listen, Bernice, Sophie cried. That afternoon, Sophie's father took her shopping. You know, Sugarbeet, he said, Bernice is a squash. Why don't you pick a nice toy to play with instead? But trucks were too hard. Dolls were too soft. Sophie clutched Bernice tightly. No thanks, she said. I have everything I need. Sophie shook her head. Oh, wait, sorry. There's a whole bunch of words that I forgot to read to you. After supper, Sophie's parents called a family meeting. Oh, and this is an important part of the story. Bernice napped in Sophie's lap. Why don't we donate Bernice to the food pantry before she rots? Her father suggested. Sophie shook her head. Bernice will last forever. Bernice seems a little blotchy, said Sophie's dad on the way to the library one day. She looks perfect to me. At story time, some kids pointed and stared. What's that spotty thing? A boy asked. Her name is Bernice, and she's a squash, Sophie said, with freckles. Maybe Bernice should stay home next time, Sophie's mom suggested. Why? Sophie asked. She wasn't the one being rude. Still, as winter neared, Sophie noticed changes. Bernice seemed softer, and her somersaults lacked their usual style. Visiting friends will cheer you up, Sophie said. At the farmer's market, squash were everywhere. Firm, shiny squash. What keeps a squash healthy? Sophie asked a farmer. Well, it's simple, really, he said. Fresh air, good clean dirt, a little love. Well, Sophie thought, I have all that. At home, Sophie cleared leaves from Bernice's favorite spot. She made a bed of soft soil, tucked Bernice in, and kissed her goodnight. Get better soon, she whispered. And that night, while Sophie slept, the wind whistled and tiny snowflakes fell. When she awoke, the world was covered in white. Do you think Bernice is cold out there? Sophie asked her mother. Oh, I'm sure she's warm and cozy under her snow blanket. Sophie gazed out the window all morning. Oops. She was still there in the afternoon when her father came home with a surprise. You need a new friend, he said. Meet Ace. Ace was nice, but boring. He just swam around and around in his fishbowl. But during the long winter, Sophie discovered that Ace was a superb silent reader who did fabulous flip turns. And he always listened politely when she talked about Bernice. Bernice was great at keeping secrets. When the snow finally melted, Sophie rushed to the garden. The only thing there was a small green sprout. It looked strangely familiar. Bernice! Sophie said, how is your winter? After that, Sophie, Ace, and Bernice ate lunch together every day. One bright summer morning, Sophie somersaulted across the yard, landed by the garden, and stared in disbelief. Disbelief. What did she see? What did she see? Bernice had grown 2 tiny squash. Wow! Sophie told him, "You look just like your mom." Soon, Bonnie and Baxter were just the right size for Sophie to hold in her arms and bounce on her knee. Just the right size to love. Oh. You're right, Bob. That was a great story. Says he knew it would be. Thank you for joining me for the story today. If you're wanting books, please don't hesitate to contact the library. You can call us, you can go to our website, you can contact me, Miss Jo, and we'll make sure and get you a good stack to pick up curbside. Miss you, and want you to know, Miss Jo loves you. Have a good rest of the day.